is Boom Radio.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the Boombar on Boom Radio NG. My name is Sola Rogers.
And my name is Dolupo. Bid you a warm welcome to the bar this very interesting afternoon. That's been, you know what? Let me just go back to my name is Dolupo. Like I said, for everybody just joining us for the very first time, what's the problem?
There's something wrong somewhere, obviously.
Just wanted to say something, but anyway, I bid you a warm welcome, and it is a very interesting day today. Happy holidays. It is still the holidays. Some people are still on holidays, and it's still the holiday season, whether you're on holiday or not. And it's New Year in a few days' time. Yeah, I'm guessing so. Yeah. So anyway, if you're just joining us for the bar for the very first time, it is the bar where we give you everything on music, entertainment, politics, sports, and everything else in between. And today is not going to be any different. We're going to be talking about a few things, a few updates coming from Ondo State. There are a few updates also from the former Speaker of the House of Representatives that passed on. There are a few other things that we're going to be talking about. Some people are paying some hefty fines that we would get around to. There are a few entertainment stories also that, has actually been making the rounds. So, on that note, sit back, relax, and let's get into today's show. All right. So, looking for the headlines. All right. Now, let's start from Ondo State. As we know that, don't let's say as we know, because I said yesterday when we were at the bar, there was there was just an acting governor. As we speak now, there is a new governor in Ondo State. He was sworn in. The acting governor, who was the deputy governor, was sworn in yesterday. Sadly, it's one of the reasons why we actually have deputy governors. People might not like, or it might be a rude awakening, but it is one of the reasons why there are deputies of this executive positions. So yes, the deputy governor was sworn in yesterday immediately at about 4 p.m., about 5 p.m. thereabout. He was sworn in as the new executive governor of the state. I'm guessing he's going to have to pick a deputy soon, because now there is no deputy governor in Ondo State. Mm-hmm. So there are a few things that has been happening. There are a few appointments that has happened. There are a few resignations that has also happened in the last 24 hours. So it was said that the chief press secretary of the late governor, it's not even former governor now, because it's actually late governor, about 3 of them have resigned. It was said that the senior special assistant to the governor on special duties and strategy, Mr. Akeredolu Odebowale, resigned, announced his resignation to the government with immediate effect. Also, I think his chief press secretary also resigned. And also, I think that's Mr. Richard Olatunde. And then the special advisor to the governor on union matters and special duties, Dare Aragbaye, also submitted his resignation to the office of the secretary to the state government. Now, I have a few questions. These people that, the governor has also appointed about 5 new aides in the last 24 hours as well. Now, I have a question with that. And my question is that these people were working with the former governor and this deputy governor that was also, what's the word now? Was also in the government. If is not funny looking, why do you have to resign?
We can speculate. We can speculate. But it's our job to also try to put out facts over opinion. But it's a mixture of both. So, some of the guys who resigned, if you read their letter of resignation,
it was just because
they made references to their loyalty to the governor.
Okay, what does that?
What they're saying?
A part of me doesn't think it makes sense. So sorry,
but because you're not in the mix.
No, I get what you're saying. Their loyalty, but now I don't think that their loyalty will be tested. Why I said so is because this person died. It's not like, okay, maybe he was impeached or he was. Do you understand?
Okay, so back to it. Maybe you will get it. The people who made these references said that they're loyal to their governor who had died. Even in death, they're still loyal to him. We will not sit down here and pretend that we didn't know that there was controversies and a whole lot of issues here and there between the deputy governor who was going to be impeached and the loyalist of the governor when the governor was away the first time he traveled for medical leave or whatever it is that he took time off to treat himself abroad. So as it stands, some of these guys were the most vocal, the most involved in the whole loyalty saga. So they definitely don't want to be a part of a government that they know might be vindictive. Some of them don't even want to consider it because apart from
if he would sack them or
if
not,
he's going to sack them or he's going to be vindictive, they were daggers drawn before, so they don't see themselves, coming down from that level
and
to
working
say,
with him.
we want to work with this person, regardless of the fact that he's now, legally the new governor of this of the state of Ondo State. So that's why some of them took that decision. Now there are certain positions also in governance, in politics, that the principal would usually pick his own person. Now, every aide of the governor and the deputy governor are appointed by the governor. That is a fact. But what usually happens is that the governor allows the deputy governor a free hand to nominate his own people.
His own people.
But when you go and check their letters of appointment or you check that,
it's
they
through
are
the
actually
office of the governor.
working for the office of the governor, but they are seconded to the deputy governor's office. So the position of the chief press secretary is one of the most important positions in Nigerian politics. There is no governor that will put someone there that is not his own person, that is not his own loyalist 110%. So that's why if you notice, whenever someone becomes governor in Nigeria, either during the general elections and the appointments on May 29th or the day after, or a few days after, or the off-cycle elections, that's one of the first positions that they actually fill, the chief press secretary. Because from that point onwards, all your communications are supposed to be channeled through your CPS, your chief press secretary.
Yeah?
If you don't do that and you allow misinformation and disinformation to go out and all sorts of things happen, you would only have yourself to blame. So I understand the position of the chief press secretary resigning and being replaced immediately. The other people who have resigned are people who feel that they can't work with the governor. And I think it's actually honorable for them to do it. For them not to stay in the government and sabotage the government, or stay in the government and not contribute 100% to the government. So here we are. A lot of people did not see Lucky Ayedatiwa becoming
governor, yeah?
Even for him to be acting governor, it was war. It took the intervention of the party's leaders at the national level for them to really allow him act. And that's when the former governor proceeded on his medical leave, meaning that he would have probably gone earlier if they had gotten this resolution that they finally got through the intervention of the party leaders. So that is enough reason for a couple. I even expect more, because you would know that at some point in time, it was reported that members of the cabinet were reporting to the governor in Ibadan, which is not even in the state at all. It's the capital of another state entirely, as against them staying back to work with, with the deputy governor in Ondo State. We have a comment from Ayomedibi. It says, thumbs up to the Boom crew. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
3 thumbs up. That's the 300K again. So that is that scenario. A lot of people have actually also gone further to say that the governor of Ondo, Lucky Ayedatiwa, is not being nice, and that he's overdoing it, that he's already appointing people, that he should have
people
waited.
Resigned now. There has to be a chief press secretary. I don't understand. Maybe
that he should have waited. He shouldn't have even done the swearing. He shouldn't have. I've read a lot of comments on social media, and I want to respond to them and help them see that. You see that we cannot have a lacuna. The acting governor was acting because there was a substantive governor, even if he was in absentia. The law recognizes that governor that was away on leave, because he communicated to the assembly that he was leaving for treatment. Now that he's gone, he's not coming back. That's the sad part about death. It's a final thing.
Exactly. Like, there's really nothing anybody can do.
No lacunas are allowed. That's why Mr. Ayedatiwa had to be sworn in immediately.
Yeah, according to reports, Mr. Ayedatiwa was even on a break.
It was at his annual
he had to cut it
revival.
Short. Yes,
there's a religious event that he, organizes in his hometown.
He had to cut it short. I think that people are just being sentimental. Sad part with it is that it is what it is. There's really nothing anybody could do about it. So, looking at that, he has now appointed 5 aides. He has appointed his chief press secretary, his special assistant on new media. He has also appointed a special assistant to the governor on new media, special assistant on political matters, special assistant on photography, and special assistant on domestic and the government house. So now we'll see where that is going. But before we leave the matter of Ondo State, there is a video that has been going around of a particular man throwing a lot of allegations towards the former First Lady, Mrs. Betty Akeredolu, and to even top it all, put it with a coloration of ethnicity. First things first, when I saw that thing, I'm like that it's almost like it's something with our society. I don't know why. I thought that we would have outgrown some of these things, but apparently a lot of people have not. And what is the fact that I know that it happens both ways, but it is more pronounced when it comes to women. When a man dies, it is almost automatic that it is the wife that caused his death. It is a very backward way of thinking. It is, and I'm like, except there is something wrong somewhere. Why would a woman that because of her husband she became first lady will want that man dead so that she does not become first lady again? Like, does it make any sense? I don't know where that is coming from. To not add it on top of it that because she's not Yoruba and because she's Igbo, she is from Imo State actually. And I'm like, if we juxtapose this is the exact same thing that happened with the former president that passed on, Umar Yaradua. If I'm correct, Tura Yaradua is from the north. How come there was not the conversation of an ethnic coloration then? Why is it that? Is because this woman is Igbo now. There's a problem with her ethnicity. Her husband married her for 30-something years. You people just suddenly realize that she's not a Yoruba woman. Are you joking? I think that we attach so much, I won't say sentiment. I think that it is just a very warped idea. Like immediately I said, women would never, ever, ever, when would women ever catch a break? And it's not the first time we're hearing this kind of thing. It's the woman that caused. Are you joking? Is she the one that gave him cancer? I don't understand though.
Well, I get your feeling. You're a woman and you feel slighted by the statement that this person, Kunle something, I can't even remember his name. The video has been flying around of how it must be a close person to the late Rotimi Akeredolu, former governor of Ondo, and this said a lot of things. And according to everybody I have not watched the video, but according to everybody that's seen that video, the only thing that they didn't like about what he said, they said he was doing well until he started bringing tribe into it.
No, that from the get he was not doing well. I'm sorry.
I'm saying, I'm talking about the tweets and the messages that I read.
Oh, okay.
I'm not contradicting what you've said. I'm going somewhere with this. So what we're trying to say in essence is that people will talk, and it is not a gender-based thing. You need to disabuse your mind from that in the first place, especially when there's some hanky-panky somewhere, or it's a very hurtful death, like when people don't see it coming and all. Mohbad is a man, right? Mohbad is a male. People started blaming his father for his death. Eventually, they started saying, oh, his wife had to do a DNA. Oh, then they found out, oh, his friend had fought him and maybe hit him with something and all of that. People said things, and it was not gender-based. It's just that when people die, people will talk. Especially when it's a public figure, they will say things. So it's not necessarily a gender-based thing.
I think it's
now,
gender-based.
for the people who...
I think it's gender-based.
In Mohbad's case, was it gender-based?
To a large extent.
So his father is a woman now. What exactly?
No, there was the blame on his wife a lot. There was blame on his mother a lot.
And there was no blame on his father.
Yeah, but
who bore the brunt of it? Who benefited from Mohbad's dying? The mother and the wife. Did the father get? No. So you see, let's not make it a gender-based thing. That's why I'm trying to get you to disabuse your mind from that thing. Let us speak to this evil of when people die, we want to blame their spouses. Except you have proof of wrongdoing. Stop coming out to accuse people when other people die, or when their spouses die, or their relatives die. Now, there are talks of leukemia and prostate cancer. You should use this opportunity to create awareness about what these things are. And so the people who have not died should start looking into it. A lot of men, me inclusive, need to start looking out for their prostrates and all of that, and be careful how life is going, or else this kind of stories will come up. Nobody wants to die or die young. Whatever age, young is relative. So, accusing his wife because she's a woman and she's his wife, and two, she's Igbo, is wrong. I think it's idiotic. And I think that person doesn't sound like someone that is educated, because did she inject him with cancer? Did she inject him with leukemia? No, that's not even possible, is it? I don't think so. So we need to be careful that when we speak, let's speak together and speak against this evil. In many parts of Nigeria, the spouses suffer. And I know that women have been at the receiving end of this a lot. So I'm not trying to discredit that. I have had friends who died. I have a friend who passed on a couple of years ago. He was from the South. His wife is from the Middle Belt, and trust me, she went through hell when they took his body home for burial. She went through hell. So cultures vary, cultures differ, but let's speak to that evil that blames the spouse, either male or female. This is the only way we can work together to correct this evil thing about blaming people for losing their spouses. You know, the same culture. A lot. Because if you start now, people will start saying you're being tribalistic, but some of our cultures really need to be looked into. You know, you force things on people, and they're actually grieving. There's an headline. We're still talking about the passing of the governor of Ondo, Rotimi Akeredolu, SAN, and there's this headline that is really trending. Akeredolu's daughter chases journalist out of father's compound and all of that. Mm-hmm. And everybody's angry about it. Yes, it's not nice. She shouldn't have done that. But
she's grieving.
But from where I stand, I can relate. I can see that she's lashing out. I can see that she's grieving. I can see that she just wants maybe some kind of peace and privacy. And this is where we err. Everybody goes in other people's businesses.
I agree with you.
Because they're public figures does not mean that they're not human.
You know, the funny thing is that I think that on the side of journalists, looking at it, and I probably might have done it once or twice as well. I think that we, in a bid to want to get news and maybe confirm things and all that, we, at times, journalists don't know where to draw the line. At times, there's the issue of people just want space. They really just don't want to talk about those things at the moment. But yeah, you probably want some scope, or maybe you just want to confirm something you've heard. But also, I think that, I don't know how it can be possible, but I really and honestly think, being from the receiving end of some of these things too, once or twice, I think that at times journalists can be insensitive.
So this is the part where, you know, as journalists, we need to draw a line. We need to strike a balance. Some of us have vowed not to go contrary to the ethics of this trade. I have had people say, for us, like Boombar, Boom Radio, you guys need to cause trouble, you need to go this and that. I've had people say it a lot, that's what's going to work. Sadly, that's what the world expects of you. But the ethics speak against that. Mm-hmm. But people are not being ethical anymore because they need the eyeballs, they need the views, and they need the notoriety that's going to bring them the fame. And, you know, the adverts and everything. Sadly, also, the advertisers don't care about you being ethical. So we are still on this side because we refuse to cross to that side. And this is where we are. Now, for the people who have crossed, I think they know what they are doing, but they don't care. They want to make a quick buck. Mm-hmm. So your pain is their gain. The more pain you have, the more they gain. And that's where the problem lies. So I don't get it, but we just have to live with it.
Because the truth is that at the end of the day, it's their private home. The reason for it being public is the governor, the man is late. People just want their own space at some point. We really, really, really need to be careful with the kind of things that we do, all in the name of wanting the scoop.
Yeah, but you know, people are always going to come for it. If you're not giving it to them, they're going to go somewhere else. So some people just say, you know, why don't you just give it to them? That's what they want. For instance, when we heard about the passing of the governor, we waited until we got, you know, a verified source before putting out the information. We had people who had already published it. And that's why you see a lot of stories that have happened in the last 10, 15 years. They tell you that, oh, someone had passed on. Then the person comes out to be alive. And, you know, the highest thing that you'll find these media guys do is to apologize.
These days, some of them will just delete it. They don't even
apologize. Some don't even delete the story. If you go, it's still there. It is sad.
That's it. We hope that people just behave properly. That's it for me. Moving on from that quickly, the Vice President And top dignitaries have also, they also went to Kano State to bury the former House of Reps Speaker Ghali Na'Abba as well. He was a 65-year-old as well. A lot of people had they were having a lot of nice things to say about the man. So that, just talking about all that and just leaving it there.
We keep breezing over Ghali Na'Abba, but one thing that stands out for me about this man was, the alleged third-term attempt by President Obasanjo of that time. This man was one of the people who stood
against it.
He stood something. He could have gained personally, because he probably would have continued as speaker or gained something higher. But he looked at how constitutionally it was wrong, and how Nigeria had to stick to the right thing.
You know that.
So
am I the only one that feels that if that had ever flown then, he probably would still be our president up until now?
Yeah, if Obasanjo can do third time, why can't he do fourth or fifth? Go and check Rwanda and other countries, and it's happening there. Now, a big shout out to everybody that's watching us and listening to us on boomradiong.com. Please like, comment, and share. Share this video links with your friends and your loved ones. Have them watch us too, and even agree or disagree with us. Let us make it a little bit more interactive. Hopefully, in the new year, we'll create a platform, where people can, send us messages and call us. And make it live.
Now, let's move on from that, and let's go on quickly to something very interesting that has been trending. Woke up this morning and saw that a particular guy who does a lot of adverts, Ola of Lagos, started trending. And why was it trending? Of course, his video got international recognition. And you're wondering, like, how? His video got recognition by Steve Varsano, the founder of the jet business. So he was kind of called out for an advert of a jet that he did that he had claimed it was about $16 million. And according to this person, he said that it was very overpriced. That is actually an old jet of about $2 million and not $16 million. And a lot of people have been coming
Then Varsano corrected himself and said, when he saw the video again and saw Ola of Lagos come out from the jet, he said, okay, he is wrong, that it was about $4 to $5 million.
Yeah, so about $4 to $5 million is a far cry from 16 million. And a lot of people I've had a lot of things to say. Even the Ola of Lagos has come out to talk about how it's just an advert, is what they tell him that he goes out to put out there. Now, on that matter, I feel that there are a few things that has to be broken down. Number one, whether you like it or not, I feel that a lot of Nigerians like overpriced stuff.
Dolupo, reverse. A lot of Nigerians lie. They lie. It's not that they like overpriced stuff. You are being economical with the truth. That means you're also lying.
No, what I mean by... No, I don't think that... Why I'm saying that? I'm not saying that that is not right. I'm saying from my own angle, I don't even think that... What I'm coming from with... it is that people that buy these things... I know people that if some things are not a certain price, they will not buy.
So
even if they're buying it, even if it's
so
same
there's a
quality.
lie somewhere.
So okay, yeah, the lie is probably from the person selling.
So bottom line
no,
is
I wasn't talking about from
lies,
the angle of selling. I was talking from the angle of buying.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's have this discussion. This is going to take us somewhere. How many times have people asked you, "Oh, I like your frames. How much are they? Where did you get them? How much did you buy them?" And how many times have you lied about it?
This frame, none.
Any frame you've ever had,
None.
Any perfume you want, any top you want, any shoe, any wig you've had.
No. In fact, I'm very... I have a couple of friends that say that I don't even know how to hide my... Like, I'm the kind of person that... if you give... somebody gave it to me. That kind of thing.
So check this. I can tell you on more than one occasion that a lot of people, when they get asked, like, let me give you two examples. There's a guy, Egungun of Lagos. I like his
Oh
content.
yeah.
Shout out to Egungun of Lagos. I never met him, but you guys might have seen videos of
Is
a
it
guy
different? He basically started acting, and then everybody
who,
has caught
who
on
goes
to
out. Of course, it was an American thing, but he started it in
he started in
Nigeria.
Nigeria, and people have caught on.
He goes out to events and talks to people and asks them about their drip. Drip is what this
They're wearing.
generation calls what they're wearing. Drip, drip, drip. And how much is your chain? And they say $40,000.
Obvious that some things are just
And when they say a lot of these things,
all right, really?
when they say a lot of these things, a part of me goes, Jesus, why are you lying? And when they say some of these things, I say, well, it looks expensive.
Yeah.
But you don't know, right? So what I'm trying to say is that leave the people who sell. We're coming back to them. A lot of people lie about their possessions. That's one.
Okay.
I've seen that a lot with the Egungo. And and when he knows that they are lying, he shows it. Again, still talking about content. There's a guy who goes around to events and he has this diamond tester. And people come to events and they say, he asks them, how much is your chain? They do it in America too. You see this content on YouTube a lot. How much is your chain? You go, $10,000. It's always $10,000. Can I test it? And a few people have actually, not a few, a lot of people have said no. There was a lady who had an engagement ring and she was so proud. She was flaunting it at an event and the guy walked up to them and tested it and the ring was fake. Now the husband or boyfriend, if he didn't know about it, you would have seen from his reaction. But you will see from his reaction that he knew what he gave to her.
Okay, so
she tweeted at him and left. So I'm not saying it's not a Nigerian thing. It's a thing where people lie. They lie.
So what's it? Are you saying that Ola of Lagos falsified the value?
No, the people who own the jet.
And so they're the ones that are selling now?
No, they're not selling. They bought the jet. They are renting it out. It's a rental service.
Yeah.
So people falsify the value of the things that they own just because they want to make you know that they've spent more than they did not. They didn't even spend it. Again, there's another lady. She's a comedian now. She's doing something about people's cribs. And she goes to their houses and, how much is your house? You hear, she's in Abuja, so she's a Lagos-based person, but she's doing a lot of stuff in Abuja lately. I say, this house is 700 and something billion. And I look at her, I'm like, in this country, people have money. So don't think because you don't have that money, it's not possible. And they were asking this guy, how much is this painting? And he said, this one 10 million. This one is 2. I'm looking at her like, why are you lying now? Why are you lying? You know what? He could have paid that much. Why he could be lying? What I'm trying to say is that it is a given. A lot of people lie about their possessions because it makes them feel good, and it also makes you feel bad, and it makes it look unattainable. And you know what I do a lot these days? I do a screen grab of what you're talking about, and I put it on Google Lens. Now, with Google Lens, it will show you similarities, and if you know how to search, you will get the value. You will get the value. And that is a fact. And that's on science. I'm not going to say that's on God. That's on science.
Okay.
So, in Ola of Lagos's case, Ola was just doing his job.
Okay, so...
And his job is to promote things.
I'm sorry. So, I saw him talk about his video and that, yes, that was what he was asked to promote and all that. But, sadly, the man did not call out the people that owned the jet. They called him out because it was his name that was on it. I feel that was where I feel his mistake is. You shouldn't put your name on something that you do not have any bit of research for. So what he's saying that some of the houses that he advertises or the cars that he advertises, they're not that expensive. Is that what he's saying?
This is a learning curve for him. Now let's track back a bit. You see, you can Google Ola of Lagos. This man started out as a cleaner about 4 or 5 years ago. He was a cleaner, but he had a passion for cars. And it started from him walking up to people, and telling them about their cars. You see the difference?
I get you.
I think that he made money from that, then lost sight and lost focus.
Yeah.
I respect and love him, but the truth has to be said. So it became an all-commerce thing for him. It wasn't about cars anymore, which was his passion. It was about commerciality, like anything commercial, it would jump on and dive into.
Yeah.
One of the first videos he made about selling a house somewhere on the island in Lagos got a lot of knocks because it wasn't really put together. But on Instagram, people on Instagram and Twitter are different worlds. On Instagram, they hail you. On Twitter, they tear you apart. So he got torn apart on Twitter. And I remember when he said, that look, he needs to pay more attention to Twitter, that is not what they think, blah, blah, blah. He tried to explain himself. Now, the man, young guy, has grown in leaps and bounds. Yesterday, I saw a video of him hanging out with Akon. A few weeks ago, he was in Dubai, promoting cars and all of that. Ola is not that lettered. It's time for him to get management.
Yeah, he needs to get management. Yeah,
a management team
to put things in place
and help him.
Your name is big now.
He has a big brand.
Your name is big, so you can't put your name on just anything anymore.
So that's my advice to him. I'm not going to knock him and say he doesn't know what he's
doing.
Because
the truth is, his credibility is on the line.
Whoever thought that his video will get to that level? Steve Varsano is, when it comes to jet business in the world, he's up there with the biggest people.
So,
and he said something when Ola made it into the cockpit of that plane. And he said, I don't even know what was this. He said, this guy should not be doing this. This guy should not be promoting a jet. You know the sad part? It's the truth. If I want to sell something to you,
do a bit of research.
I know he likes to joke a lot. But you see, when it comes to stuff like that, this is the cluster. We are told not to touch or talk about this. But this is where the pilots really do their business. But let me take you to the luxury side of things. To be honest, if anybody wants to buy a plane, they don't care about the engine cluster of a jet.
Yeah.
They care about the perks. Oh, there's a bar on board.
We probably shouldn't have gone there. There was no need if you were not going to talk about it. It's too much. He's now become too big for him to just be doing just anything. We need
Ola to protect his brand because he's a young Nigerian man that I love. He's made something out of nothing. And some of his videos I've seen, and they are cringe-worthy. I'm like, this man doesn't understand that he's going to mess his brand up.
Yeah.
He's going to drop on everything. You know, the other day he was promoting this company that makes military cars in Ogun State, Proforce. And it wasn't a bad job, but I said, okay, we could have still done a little bit more research and all of that. Ola, look, you're going to be all right. Don't worry about the backlash. But you also look at the truth from these criticisms and this critique. Because when people critique you, and they critique you, based on facts, take it in, learn from it, and and step up your game. This thing has from Otta, it's taking him to different parts of the world, But you fell into a trap. It's not a Nigerian trap. It's a global thing. People lie a lot about their possessions. They lie. I don't want to go on and on. I've seen it over and over and over again.
You seem very angry on this matter.
No, I'm not angry. I'm just being real. Like I told you about the guy who bought an engagement ring for his girlfriend, and it was a fake diamond ring.
I didn't think that they were going to test it.
At times, the cost of that thing would have gotten you a very decent gold ring.
Yeah.
It's the same way, we were at a friend's. It's not my friend, Joe. We had this guy's child's naming ceremony. And he had expensive bottles of drinks on the table. And every single bottle was fake. And we knew. But he acted like he didn't know.
But he could, it's possible he didn't know.
He knew.
Okay.
I don't want to go into details.
On that note, we're moving straight. As the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, as the year is closing, has fined the British American Tobacco and his affiliate companies in Nigeria $110 million.
Yeah, that's some income for Nigeria. Big shout out to FCPC for coming through on this one. Are we sharing this money? We need to get the money in. Now, that's me being funny. Let's get down to the real business of the day. Why were they fined so much money? That is what we should be asking. Competition, deception, and all of these other things are dangerous. You know, now tobacco smoking in itself is so bad that they have to advertise what it does to you.
But they're not even allowed to advertise.
Before you buy it on the pack.
Yeah, it has to be there, and they can't do any adverts. They can't do nothing.
Tobacco smoking is so bad that they have to put the label and say, but it's still an advert, actually. That's what I was referring to. I wasn't talking about radio and TV adverts or online adverts. I'm talking about the fact that everybody that goes to buy a pack of cigarettes. But you know the sad part is the retail aspect of this business. Most people don't. A lot of the people who smoke don't buy the packs. They just buy
even
sticks.
If they buy the packs, the people that buy packs,
do
they read
the
them?
signs on it and all of that? So as it stands now, the FCCPC, you know, is about to make some cool cash for Nigeria, and again, everything they do is to protect you.
You know, the funny thing is that you would even know that this is a serious money-making business. Why would you know that? Like we said, they don't advertise. They have one of the highest taxes that they pay. And then it must not even be, they can't even increase prices of these commodities. Like, but still, they're making a killing.
Steady, because
they literally have to put the danger of these things on their boxes and all these things, but they're still making a killing.
It's the hypocrisy for me, and let's talk about it. I know that one day the world will come to realize this. You buy fizzy drinks that are made of so much sugar. You buy alcohol that's made of so much sugar and other things that can damage your lungs, liver, everything. You buy ketchup and those other things that are actually not good for you. This everything I'm saying, you can research and disagree or agree with me. It's the hypocrisy for me.
But it's only
tobacco is the only item
that
the world has clamped down on. The only item. In fact, they should put adverts on cars that if you speed beyond this limit, you can die. It's the truth. On the planes can crash. But why are we just zeroing on tobacco alone? Virtually everything that man made or that man has made can kill you.
Exactly.
They say smokers are liable to die young. Drinkers are liable to die young too. When I say drinkers, I mean people who drink Coke, Fanta, and any of the sugar drinks. Yeah, I mentioned brands, but it's the truth.
It's the truth, yeah?
It's the truth. The same way with alcohol. So put it there. Put it on all those brands. You know, and tax them heavily. The way I heard that they're bringing this heavy tax on the fizzy drinks very soon. People are complaining. Hey, we told you the government was going. No.
Drink water. Drink water.
Danny.
Drink water.
He's a footballer.
Any which way, moving on
and
from
when
that.
Ronaldo said drink water, people were angry.
The Sultan of Sokoto has now kind of raised questions against the Nigeria security system, and he was making this after the offshoot of the issues happening in Plateau State, the killings that had happened there over the weekend, and he was talking about how the intelligence gathering of security agencies saying that bandits always seem to be a step ahead. I know that security agencies are doing a lot, then kudos to them. But on this particular one, I think that they dropped the ball. These killings and this maimings and this theft and all that happened over about 2 days. Are we saying that it was that difficult to get to these towns? Are we saying that there was no intelligence? I'm not even saying that it's possible that they might not have known this was going to happen. But after 24 hours, they probably shouldn't have. Because it means that these people had a free hand.
There is no security network or system in the world that does not fail. The 9/11 was successful because one of the best security networks in the world failed. They found loopholes around it. And the terrible perpetrators of 9/11 were able to pull it off. Then a few months or years after, the same thing happened in England. Those attacks on the buses and all of that. I think that was in June or July or so of that year. You know, the bomb blast in Paris, the different issues in Germany, even Russia. They've had their fair share. You know, I am not going to agree with the Sultan. He has spoken his mind. I respect him a lot. And I'm not going to castigate the Nigerian military network. The massive expanse of land that is this area that this thing happened needs to be monitored better. The local government, by law, are supposed to put certain things in place for security. It's there in the Nigerian law. Then the state, then the federal. But everything that happens, we blame the federal forces. We blame the federal government. This is not a time for apportioning blames. This is a time for solution and healing. How do we help the people of Plateau heal? How do we prevent this from happening again? How many people have access to data and the numbers to call or the places to send their messages to? There is an attack ongoing. We have seen it. Help us. We need to work on our SOS lines. We need to work on our
those are things that
emergency lines. It has to be toll free. But remember when the Nigerian police put out an app to help them get information?
That people decided to.
Hundreds of thousands of false alarms. Do you know what you're doing when you do those things? You're working for the criminals because they're going to get away with their crimes. You know, you cry wolf over and over and over again until the real wolf comes. And there's nobody there to save you. I'm not saying that this should have happened and should have been so long. I'm saying that it is a collective effort by every one of us. Do you know how many times you have seen something go wrong and you did not report it? I know that at times you report it and the people you report to don't do anything. I get that. But did you at least report?
Yeah.
Let us work together. Let's get a better country together. We cannot continue to always blame the federal government for everything when we are the government. What have you done to stop this? You can help. Send information out. Send it to the media. If you think that the military or the police will not do something about it or they might not see your message, make noise about it. Please. For government, create a whistleblowing platform. Let it be something that allows SMS, phone calls, emails, social media, free calls, so that people can actually report what they see. They can make videos, take pictures, and if it's for safety reasons that they can't make videos or take pictures, they can just send messages. Please, let's work together. What happened in Plateau should not have happened.
Should not have happened. Now, let's move on from that quickly, and let's go on to Niger State, where there's a very interesting thing happening, where the governor of Niger State has specifically said, so there was a report that was going around that said that the government had prohibited the sale of alcohol in 9 local governments in the area.
In the state.
In the state. Now, the governor has come out to say that they're categorically saying that he did not issue any directive
Fake news.
to ban the sale of alcohol in any part of the state.
It's fake news.
It's saying that the Liquor and Licensing Board is even yet to be constituted by the governor. So there's no directive like that.
So there's a certain guy, a Mohammed something, who is said to have signed that.
Yeah, a
report.
Mohammed Ibrahim.
Now, Mohammed Ibrahim has not been appointed as anything, and he's believed to be the one that put out this message that went viral.
You people have mind, Sha.
Now, they want to set up a board, but they've not set it up. But you've already set the agenda and a press release claiming that the governor said XYZ. As soon as I saw that, I said, fine. it's really time for us to rethink the revenue drive of this country. Remember that we are all at the mercy.
By the way, the governor had said that that person should be arrested.
Yeah, we're all at the mercy of big business. So it's actually time, because do you know how much is made from sales of alcohol? And there are states in Nigeria that don't allow the sales of alcohol. There are some states, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, they destroy every consignment, even the one that's just passing through their state to another place. They destroy it. But guess what? VAT, value added tax,
but they collect VAT on it.
Every item, and they get to share the money. It's hypocrisy for me. It's the hypocrisy for me. So I said to myself, look, Governor Bago, he's one of my picks as, top governors for the next 4 years. I've seen his moves, and I think that Niger State have just met their best governor yet. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to knock off, that, then you also will be hypocritical to be collecting.
But he's saying that he didn't knock anything off.
When the news broke. I'm saying what I said when the news broke. Because look at him. A few days ago, he signed a deal with Union Bank that's going to help them with their farming, plans. And he looks like a guy that is really going to be successful.
He definitely has plans for a lot of things. Talking about governors, a governor has come out to say that he really wanted to be a musician and not a politician. So why are you
Is that Sanwo-Olu?
No.
Wait, let me guess again. Sheriff Oboro of Delta?
Okay, now I know that you're just joking.
Let me guess again. Governor Zulum? Oh, it's Governor Yusuf Kano. It's not him. Okay. So which governor will really want to be a musician after all these governors?
Dancing
Lucky Ayedatiwa, Abi?
I'm not even
Governor, wow, Mr. Demu, Babao. Speaking to the media, I think I was talking to the Arise TV crew today, and if you ever see Governor Ademola Adeleke,
he's not too late to start he can easily resign, and
he shouldn't resign.
He should resign, and
he has a few more years to go.
He should resign and follow his dreams.
No, please don't take Dolupo's advice.
Why not?
Anytime you see Governor Adeleke do this, or he's dancing and he's doing all those his moves, he has told you that he cannot help it. He wanted to be a musician as far back as the 60s.
Yeah, but nobody is stopping him now. He's an adult now. He can pursue his dreams.
He said that when he went to uni in the 80s.
He went to uni?
In the 80s, when he was in uni in the 80s.
He went to uni in the 80s?
Yes, he did.
So why did he not write
he won a dancing competition.
I'm just saying, why did I write WAEC again?
And the
you are not answering me.
The school authority, you are trying to distract me. The school authorities could not mention Ademola Adeleke. So the president of the school said Jackson. And that's how he got his Jackson. So that's why he's called Jackson. So those of you who were wondering, where did he get Jackson from? He got it from dancing in the 80s in America when he was in uni.
I was in uni.
Yes, uni. So, having said that, Osun State, you guys are lucky you have a governor
a dancing governor who's very in tune with entertainment,
with the sound of times and everything, and it actually make you people happy.
It might actually not be a bad thing, really.
Yeah,
it might really not be a bad thing.
There's so much stress in this world, and you have a governor.
It might also be the fact that
when he hears the sound, he says when he hears the sound, he can't stop. He has to dance.
Actually appreciates entertainment angle of it. One thing that, jokes apart, might be good for them. I don't know how he's going to channel that into things like tourism
or boom
and
or
all
boom
that.
He doesn't have to channel it. He can boom it into those things.
Anyway, we're moving on from that quickly before we go. The Central Bank investigating team has now refused the Titan Trust Bank's chairman's request to shift the acquisition probe. So there was news between yesterday and 2 days ago that the chairman of Titan Trust Bank, Tunde Lemon, had been summoned by this panel. And it was said that this man has now asked for the investigators to reschedule the meeting till January 7th instead of December 28th. That's supposed to be today. And they have declined his request.
So did he turn up today?
We don't know yet. The meeting was supposed to start at 2 p.m. It's saying that failure for them to attend may lead to the forfeiture of their shareholding and interest in Titan Trust Bank and Union Bank of Nigeria.
That's a lot of billions of naira, man.
Wherever you are around the world,
fly like an eagle. Fly, fly, fly.
And we're talking about the CBN. So the truth is that, can they get it done? Oh, yes, the CBN can.
And again, it's an independent investigator. They have those powers. However, the CBN is also trying to let you guys know that your funds, your deposits are safe, because these banks are insured by the NDIC.
Yeah, so it's about the acquisition. It's not about what you have in
your money.
Yes, makes
your
sense,
savings
actually.
assets.
That
So
needs to be.
do not go on panic withdraw, because it's when you go and withdraw your hard earned, on your way back, you now see that fine car that you have been eyeing, you go and buy and be buying things that you don't need.
You don't
Leave
need,
the
because
money
you
in the
think
bank.
you have
Your
money.
money is safe.
Anyway, quickly before we go, finally, there's a bit of news, interesting news in sports, where a Guinean midfielder has now been left out of the Guinea squad for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations after a falling out with his head coach. Now, what is the issue?
Fact or fiction? You're about to find out.
So it's saying that there was a meeting that they had with
Excuse me, guys. Sorry.
Vinicius Junior, if I'm correct. Please, what country is he from?
Vinny doesn't play for Guinea. Carry on.
I know he doesn't play for Guinea. Yeah, I think he plays with Cameroon.
Vinny plays in Real Madrid, so just carry on.
Not Real Madrid, like this.
Sorry, Barcelona. Sorry, Man United. Oh, it's Arsenal.
I was talking about his country. I'm actually not joking.
He doesn't play in Africa, so don't worry.
Yeah, I was just asking. Like,
Can you carry
I kind
on?
of forgot. Anyway, he's saying that he had a meeting with Vinicius Junior, and there was a shirt swap, and he's accusing his coach of stealing the shirt.
So, fact or fiction? Did the coach steal the shirt?
I don't know.
But fact or fiction, he has been left out of the Guinean
I think that
squad.
it is a very heavy allegation, especially with your head coach. You didn't ask anybody else. You didn't accuse anybody else. It had to be.
Do you know if
coach.
he has proof? Do you know if he has proof? For him to risk his career and accuse his coach, do you know if he has proof?
I don't know.
All right, so that's what it is. Guinea have now left out this player, and what, from the look of things, he might have something to say.
Hey, you should sue the man now.
There's no need to sue. They don't need you. They don't invite you. You move on with your life.
No, what it means that he still feels that somebody stole his property, so
No, that's gone now. He's already accused them, and the jersey won't come back. And of course, he will not be invited to the Nations Cup.
To the Nations Cup. And on that note, that is all we take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you very, very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of The Bar. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day. Like, subscribe, follow.
Leave a comment.
Share, and all the beautiful things that you can do on all our social media.
And thank you for the
platforms.
people who are watching and the people who are listening.
Yep.
Thank you.
Happy holidays. Peace.
We'll be back tomorrow.